Hey guys, first regards in here, and I'll be talking about a double heroic plasma build for the heavy class in Space Marine 2 patch 13. Now, this patch did give us the brand new heroic plasma pistol. This one has the heroic perk effect over here called Overcharged Plasma Coils. Only fires charged shots of increased damage, but charge time is longer. Now, this does a truly staggering amount of damage. You will one-shot Majora's Clumps because this isn't just like a normal charge shot on a weapon. It's basically a pocket heavy plasma, so your charge shot here has a fat AoE that will one-shot whole Majora's Clumps and do tremendous damage to extremists and even bosses. So a really powerful weapon at the moment, even if it's a bit awkward to use because the charge speed on this is like 5 business days. Now, for the perk tree selection, we are going for the double shot method. So first up, we take the perk over here, Plasma Collection, going here to the perk Rapid Cooling, and then I pick up the perk here, Plasma Collection again, and then I grab Divine Might for 10% more damage. Now, we move here into Blast Radius for even more charge shot radius because this does help out a lot because this thing does so much damage. Moving here to the perk Perpetual Velocity. Shots will charge 20% faster. Now, even with this perk, you will still take forever to charge your weapon, so you definitely want this because without it, it's even worse. And then the final perks are Efficient Charge, into the perk here, Perfect Cooling, and the final perk is Charge Cooling. Charge shots generate 10% less heat. Usually, a single shot from this weapon will give you a full overheat, but with this perk active, you can actually get off 2 shots, so pretty nice there. And you can potentially get even more if you do trigger the perk over here, Rapid Cooling, since you won't overheat at all. But like I said before, the charge speed is so long on this weapon, getting more than 2 shots off is not very practical, and really getting 2 shots off is not super practical in a lot of scenarios in the first place, but it is doable enough. It is worth taking in my opinion. But alternatively, you could skip over this perk down here, or like the top 3 up here, and go all the way down the bottom for like the same perk Divine Might, or more importantly, Retaliation and Blast Radius and more ammo. That is up to you. Now, for the primary here, we do take the Heroic Heavy Plasma. This one only fires common shots, so it's like the opposite of our secondary here, and for this we just build for mostly ammo, going through fast venting into the perk here Contingency Plan. Then I pick up the perk Plasma Collection, Efficient Charge, which unfortunately does nothing for you on this gun, but we have to take it to go into the next perk, which is Admin Restoration. When your health drops below 30%, your ammo reserve is restored by 25% of the maximum capacity, cannot exceed maximum ammo capacity. The cooldown is 30 seconds. Now, this perk is very good in the heavy class because if you take his best perk in this column here, which is Fortitude, for a health increase of 30%, you will get so much HP on top of Conviction for a 25% health damage reduction that hanging around like 40% HP is not very difficult for you. So basically, you'll be able to get hit by a warrior, you will drop below that 30% threshold, get your ammo back, fire them or shoot at them again to get your CHP back, and then you'll be back above that 30% threshold for that 30-second cooldown, and you just rinse and repeat, and you are so tanky, you're not really at like risk of dying. So a really good synergy there. Now, the next perk here is Heavy Fire up here into the perk Supercharged Shot, which also does nothing for us. And then I grab the perk here, Heavy Immunity. While in heavy stance, you now lose control of heavy hits. When you are not taking the perk here, Strategic Stand, you pretty much always want this perk on every gun with heavy stance in the game, because without them, you will be knocked around, and being unable to shoot your gun while like a whip warrior swinging at you just sucks. So definitely pick this up. Next perk here is Retaliation. After a perfect time dodge, you'll deal 25% more damage for 10 seconds. This is a very strong perk effect as well because a 25% buff is pretty easy to pull off. And the final perk here is Charge Cooling into the perk Fast Venting. And that's pretty much all there is for the Heroic Plasma tree. And I will say, if you want to go all the way down the bottom line, you can do that for more ammo. That is up to you. And also perks here like Brutal Rampage are pretty strong on this because you do just kind of like one-shot Hormagaunts and a lot of Zangors very easily with this weapon. So doing that with Brutal Rampage is quite easy to do. That is up to you. Now, for the perk tree, I do take Restoration first. Killing 7 enemies rapid succession restores an armor segment. The cooldown is 15 seconds. This is still the best perk in this column. Now, you could take Auxiliary Ammunition if you really want to, but to be honest, even with the secondary here that gives you a one-shot of guys and has like a massive AoE, this is just not worth taking. It's not a very strong perk at all, and this one for armor restore is much better. Next perk here is Fortitude. Health increases by 30%. HP increases in Space Marine 2 are super valuable because in this game, below 25% HP, you will get a ramping damage reduction, and because of that, a base HP increase gets much better with that ramping damage reduction, and when you stack that on top of things like Conviction, it gets even stronger. So like you are pretty ridiculously tanky on the heavy class because of that, and a 30% HP increase here kind of just makes you like baseline as tanky as a Bulwark. Next perk here is Versatility. After you switch weapons, your secondary weapon does 20% more damage. The effect lasts until until reloading or switching back to your primary weapon. Now, since you never reload on a heroic plasma or any plasma weapon in this game, this effect will be active the entire time, and a 20% damage buff to the heroic plasma pistol is pretty insane. Next perk here is additional supplies. Ammo capacity for all team members' primary weapons increases by 25%. This is a perk I like to take on the heroic plasma especially because this one is super ammo hungry, though you could take encompassing Aegis instead as an option. I just prefer this one on this build. Next perk here is consecutive execution. Killing 7 enemies in rapid succession restores equipment charged by 1. The cooldown is 90 seconds. Now a 90-second cooldown on melt-the-bombs, pyro-blaster canisters, crack grenades, you name it. It is still a top tier effect in this game, though if you do want to take the perk up here at will, you can definitely do that for health damage reduction after Iron Halo deactivation. Next perk here is Power Regulator. Moving here into the perk Brute Force. When Iron Halo is in cooldown, range damage increases by 15%. This perk is just a free range damage buff, so I pretty much always pick it up, and the perk up here, Saving Grace, is dog shit, and Wrath of the Imperium is pretty funny and occasionally strong. It's just that if you get knocked over during your Iron Halo at all, you will lose the Iron Halo effect and have to start all over from like the top, which it does kind of suck. Next perk here is Offensive Capability. When active, Iron Halo deals damage over time to all enemies within 5 meters. This is just a free damage on like the Majoris, Extremis, and even bosses. It will also one-shot Cultists, one-shot Bramble, and Spore Mines, so pretty nice utility perk, though if you're playing with like a coordinated team, conversion field can be a bit better. Now for our prestige perk selection here, I do take Auxiliary Reload first. Melee kills of Extremis or higher enemies restoring preference ammo by 1 magazine. This will give you a higher restore based on the max capacity you have on your weapon, or at least for heavy stance weapons, because weapons like Heavy Plasma, weapons like Multi-Melta, and Pyro Cannon, these do not actually have a magazine, so you get a percentage restore instead. So having a higher base capacity from additional supplies, that will give you more ammo back on each trigger, so pretty good synergy there. Next perk here is Conviction for a 25% health damage reduction for 10 seconds on Armor Break. This makes you way tankier, pretty much always pick this up. And the final perks here are Indomitable Spirit and Reverberating Impact, or your choice of Exponential Force and even Duelist, but Duelist is apparently bugged according to the devs to not work with balanced parry windows currently, which does kind of suck, so for now I stick with Reverberating Impact and Indomitable Spirit. And that's pretty much all there is for this build, guys. You will put out a ton of single target and AoE damage with this build. The Heavy Plasma here on the heroic variant, even though you only have common shots still have AoE damage on the Heavy Plasma, and also if you reload immediately after you fire a shot, you will never overheat on this gun. You'll see that in the actual gameplay, so pretty easy to pull off, and the secondary here really make up for any AoE you're lacking on your primary. So that's pretty much all there is for this one. Hopefully this build guide helped you, and if you like content like this, subscribe for more. And if you want to catch me live to ask me questions about the game or just come hang out, you can find me here on YouTube or on Twitch with a link in the video description alongside a link to my community Discord. And as always, thank you for watching, take it easy, bye.
A dark path is ended. Fire on the line! Pack a little more bite. Become a beast. Die like a beast.
Actually a pretty good combo synergy here, I gotta say. But you have a fat AoE here. It's a kind of a waste of it, but
The Codex demands it.
look at this. Bang.
Contaminated crossing ahead. Waste nothing, brothers. Traitorous scum. Stir. Sanctified believers. Remove that spearman from the battle.
That's where we take heavy immunity there. Because a one hit like that would knock you over, like give you a stagger. May not knock you over, but it would definitely stagger you.
Keep them off guard. Xenos in the vicinity. Skittered to the grave of Xenos.
Watch the water. It is hostile. Do not move to dry ground.
So wait, that didn't sign out first? Hold on. Interesting.
We crush the ravenous brood. There's no holding back now. Champion of the
To dry ground. Ground is solid. We advance.
Enjoying the patch so far? I certainly am, Prology. What is up? We're currently playing the double plasma. The double plasma heroic thingy. How have you been? Oh my god. There. You. See, direct shot. The last thing that cultist ever saw was like a giant blue ball flying at him.
It is our duty to end these horrors. There is no going back, brothers.
Dude, my character does not want to swap weapons, I'm noticing. I hope that doesn't become an issue in a boss fight.
The Shangar is reduced to a scar.
See the devil.
Keep them off guard. Get with that. We're all for war. A dark path and right
I made him back there. Maybe a little bit ambitious of me to, maybe a little ambitious of me to just try to go straight for the boss instead of playing the ads first, because this is what happens.
just reward.
Especially with double fucking source for respawn. God, that sucks. Actually, when they clump up like this, pretty good. Hoping my offensive capability kills in. Yeah, there we go. And now we just execute him immediately. Alright, I'm back.
These gods taught them that monstrous language. Traitorous scum. The Codex demands.
brother doing this where the Tech Marine came out with the SCG for like 9 or 10 straight hours? True, you did. You did help me level Tech Marine very quickly. We love double plasma. I love the new patch. Love the new heroic plasma and tactical. But the patch is fun. It is very fun. I think it's better than the Tech Marine patch was in terms of content. I mean, the Tech Marine class is a lot of content if you think about it in terms of team comps and like the replayability of the content we have in the game. But as far as like new stuff is for like guns and like across the other classes, but most of the other classes did not like. I didn't feel that substantially different last time. Why is my weapon swapping not going off? Okay, there we go. This map is so cool, though. This is the best map we've had in a while since November of last year. Ooh, Pyroblaster canister. I love this thing.
Waste nothing, brothers.
Authorization accepted. Invoking rights of unsealing. Estimated duration.
I got a lot of content to make. I'm happy about it. Me too. Almost too much. Yeah, I'm just gonna take the frags for now because they're pretty good. Actually, this is gonna not matter. If I clump them all up in a Pyroblaster, it probably matters a lot more. I'm kind of angry I cannot use the cross plating from Iron Hands Champ chest on my tech or other classes besides tactical. That's supposed to be a bug, I heard. That for Tech Marine is supposed to be a bug. Oh look, I almost forgot. We are we don't give a fuck about these guys. We'll light it on fire. It's here somewhere. There it is.
The fewer psychers these Xenos have, the better.
New map is hella good. It is so good. I'm like, this is the best. Like of all the multi-faction maps, this one is by far the best. This one also feels like it's the only one where there are points in Disruption, especially like you don't even have to fight the enemies; you're too busy fighting each other. So it's kind of the point sometimes of these, but.
The arch enemy occupies this facility.
Alright, I'm sorry.
Keep them off guard.
Initial facility defense was unsuccessful. These halls should be choked with human corpses. Viridian, I have
That's definitely better than we have.
things.
This is I like the Pyroblaster canister. It is not as good.
And purge any remaining data, sealed or otherwise. The traitors cannot recover even a fragment. Deny the Thousand Sons everything. Orders received.
Bang. Poor little cultist. I've been playing like 2 months since like early March, and one thing I've noticed is that the game seems a lot easier this patch. Maybe that's just because I've been gone for a while. It actually feels like the spawns feel higher on Absolute and True Solo. I mean, some of the classes are stronger now.
Keep going forward. Sanctified maneuvers.
Wait, who's that speaking? It might be the new boss for any next patch. You never know. Maybe they'll add him for this mission.
We leave nothing behind.
Oh, what the fuck? Okay. I love Dinglers. This is why Fortitude is so strong, by the way. You're very tanky with that.
Pack a little more bite. The Emperor's great.
Alright, now we have the retaliation going. A 1080p FCG stream by the Emperor, I know.
Yeah, put down the foul dog.
Rarity in these parts. That we aura farm Twitch. With our glorious 720p.
Looking nose upon it. No holding. Your heresy is ended.
That was HD technically at some point in time. There we go.
Warning. The data vault remains sealed. The cogitator array suffers affliction.
Bang.
Dispatch the active consoles. The source of affliction must be identified and purged. The Omnissiah guides the faithful to truth.
Minor setback. Search the vault chamber.
Alright, so the consoles are up top. Oh no, they're over here. So they're like not in the bottom area, but they're... So maybe they are up top? Alright, so the generators are down here, and the other ones are up top. That's right. Alright, we can't heavy immunity that.
Codex demand.
Negative. Keep searching.
Was it really necessary to melt the bomb all those anglers? No, we had extra ones, why not?
Negative. Keep searching.
Pack a little more bite.
Cogitator restored.
That's where the double shot's good. That's also where Fortitude, once again, is supreme, because you can just sit there and tank that Iron Halo. Whereas, otherwise, you're dead. If you try to charge up like that with that Fortitude, you're cooked.
The wolf deforms and weakens all that touch it.
Data sterilization complete. All records expunged. May administrations serve the machine gods well.
Viridian, we are registering a significant warp energy spike inside Nozick's laboratory. Reach the lab and eliminate the heretics. Do not allow their ritual to reach completion. Orders received.
Alright, now we just go up top. You extra have ammo. We'll grab this.
A thousand suns have already drunk deep of Nozick's knowledge. Every secret, every fear. You cleanse as an empty husk.
Incorporeal noise. Taunts will not change the outcome of this battle.
It is our duty to end these horrors. I am the Imperium's aegis. Arrogance and ambition. Melt bomb on top. Keep them off guard. Whatever foul entity you serve, stop that target from riding fresh warriors.
Bang.
There will be more blood to overcome.
Oh, he felt that. Oh, he felt that.
Sorcery wanes in glory presence. The Emperor's grace months. Sanctified maneuvers. Made a path.
Corruption deepens. This means we are heading the right way.
Okay.
Traitorous scout been exterminated.
For some reason, when I'm hitting my swap weapon button, it's not working. Now it is. It's like delay though. Weird.
Use the drifting islands to cross.
I haven't noticed that in any other class patch. And my keyboard's broken. There it is again. Yeah, I'm spamming the key. Whatever. That's not when I'm running. Okay, let's stop. Okay, so you have to stop and pull it out. Interesting. I never noticed that before.
Pack a little more bite.
Oh, hello. Perish.
Intercepting projectile.
Oh, you see, that is why knockback's important.
Terminate that first.
Wow, we almost got murdered there by that. I wasn't expecting the jump in chaos spawn, I'll be honest. This is why fortitudes peak.
Send the spearman back to its master. The codex demands. Our spirit shall stronger than their corruption.
Whatever. No! My elevator. Get out of here. We'll be fine. Next box we find is like guaranteed to be a sim.
The island is stable.
Keep them off guard. Become a beast. Die like a beast. No holding back.
Okay. Please be a box. I'll take ammo or sims. I'm not super choosy. Well, I'm actually pretty choosy. I would like a sim, but okay. What is the lore behind the floating balls in the Blighttown River? Swamp, not river. Are there first drops for patch 13? There are indeed.
Visual on the lab. We leave the swamp behind.
Thank you. That'll refill my primary. Now, your Iron Halo counts as in cooldown while it's in use, so the easiest way to max your damage on this is to just put your Iron Halo up and then play your secondary for versatility and bang. One-shot them.
Pack a little more bite.
So nice of the heretics to leave working lists behind so we can reach them and destroy their stupid altars. I know. It's all part of the master plan of Zinj.
Guardsmen sustained the breach. Point me to what needs breaking. Eliminate the eyes. What is the Xenos? A blight to be purged. What is the mutant? A cancer to be excised. What is the heretic? A shame to be expunged.
Yes, a sim finally. A restorative sim. Wow, we're back to full. Truly blessed.
Commence on the battle. And this spawn's twisted existence. The Xandor's of my mind is steel. Execute that one, lest it summon aid. No mercy for chaos idolatry.
Guardsman freed.
A dark path. Melton, ready.
Oh,
Cadians, you are liberated. Do your duty.
oh, I got him. You know, I don't really understand the point of bringing Cadians back into this because the Cadians are kind of, you know, you're taking them out of the portal where they're trapped to die to the cultists to put them in the portal, so.
Waste nothing.
Although the Cadians need to start finding them over there free, it's true. Cadians are built different.
Another ward falls.
Also, the fact that you know you're fighting alongside an Astartes is a pretty big thing.
Come to the altar and seal the breach.
That was one of the things I looked forward to the most in the campaign when I first played it. It was like, I was really hoping for those moments. Like, oh my god, it's a Space Marine. Like, those are the coolest parts of playing like a super soldier in a game. Well, those are the coolest parts of 40k. It's like, Space Marines are very rare in the galaxy. So if you're a guardsman, you're like, wow. It's like, holy shit. They're real. It's such a cool looking area.
Altar remains unsecure.
Now, you see, this was Bloodborne, a big spider comes down.
Your art may us against forbidden truths. We saw through the corpse emperor's lies. You cut your own flesh. You lay waste to countless
That 5 pixel damage is insane, yeah.
Altar remains
Let's take forever. Fine. Okay. Bonk. There's ammo right here. I never noticed that.
Let us see which fails first. Your ammunition or your ritual minds. Behold the host of the change of ways. We do not tire.
The ritual weakens.
Become a beast.
The ritual begins to crumble. The rift produces. The bolter consumes. Life in service. Death in service. A worthy pursuit. Finish it.
Keep them off guard.
Oh, that is a cool mission.
Viridian, Auspex confirms the rift is collapsing. Heretic warp signatures are dissipating across the battlefield. Exemplary work. Return to the Resilient. Have the Cadians follow.
I like the idea. There's like a little cultist that put up that ultra there, like a little what do they call it? The sign, the chaos sign.
Find them untainted.
Someone would like take the time out of their day to like shape the sign, and, like put it into the floor. Okay, I want the next boss to be another demon? Well, there is no demon in this game, believe it or not. Not even the Vortex Beast is a demon. It's actually a warp abomination. And Zangors are little beastmen. I forgive the confusion on the Vortex Beast because it does come out of a fucking warp portal, but it is a giant mutant thingy.